Welcome to Tarot Tuesday for the week of May 26th. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Take what resonates, and if this reading doesn't speak to you, go check out your other two signs videos for deeper messages. So Scorpio, we are here in Gemini season, basically the opposite time of the year from you. But we have today a Mars squaring off with Pluto, your ruling planet. And so there's this degree of tension that starts off the week, but this is a good motivational energy leading up to this full moon on the 31st, which is in Sagittarius. So there is this desire to get more focus, which you guys generally are, but there's a lot of fast information, fast communication happening, and Sagittarius is really that archer focusing in on something of value, the information that is needed, not just being bombarded at us, yeah? And then on the next day, on the 1st, we're gonna have Mercury going into Cancer. So Mercury has been in Gemini, one of its signs that it rules, but moving into Cancer for you should make things, feel a little bit more easy and flowful, and it's a water sign, so a little bit more comfortable for you. And so this week we're going to meet it with the Starseed Oracle deck just to tap into this Gemini energy, and let's see what we got going on for Scorpio. Scorpio. Surrender to the sweetness. Yeah. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. So Scorpio, if things have been feeling too hustle bustle for you, a lot of people, I think for the last few weeks, stop and smell the roses. Stop and surrender to that pleasure and joy every day. It's there. You just have to really tap back into your body. With Mars in Taurus, it's really about getting into what our body needs, and Taurus is really about that physical, that sensual pleasure. So for you Scorpio, get back into whatever way you need to feel into your body the most joy, pleasure, making love to life. It is really, if you haven't seen people have orgastic moments over food and stuff, it's just anything and any tangible thing. There's people, I'm not one of those people, and I don't know, a wall would be a weird one, but I think there is some woman with a piece of the Berlin Wall, and there's another woman who wanted to marry the Eiffel Tower. There are people who do all kinds of weird things. I'm not saying that's you, because that is a very specific. There are people who do all kinds of things, but I'm not saying that to you. That's a very ultra specific thing, but hey, I remember there were 2 photo shoots that I did, and I was like, I'm fucking that wall, so, or there was one where this sun, because I usually do sunset ones, this sun and me were just having a moment. So Scorpio, I don't know what's going to be for you this week, but really, how deep can you go into your own pleasure with life right now? Star family, you're part of a team of souls. Call in support. So this has been coming up for people too this week. I think somebody might have had this as their original card, but this has been coming up where Scorpio, I told people who've got this card that the full saying of blood is thicker than water is actually that the blood of the tribe is thicker than the water of the womb. So for you, Scorpio, find your people. And I'm not saying hey, fuck your family. I'm literally in my family home right now. But what it's saying is that if you don't feel like you belong, that's a lot of people. That's why you see a lot of people leave their small towns for the big city, because they don't feel like they have their tribe. And I would say I was in a small town and I felt like I had my tribe in that town, but we all collectively went to the same place with somewhat of the similar values, so for you Scorpio, really find your people, your tribe in whatever way that you can. And it's like when you go to a concert and everybody's there collectively to see the same people, they know the same lyrics to the same songs, and you might have this big moment at like everybody's favorite song. Then most artists save like some of the best songs for last or their encore even. So everybody can come into this moment of feeling immersed in everything that you all love together. So I don't know what that's going to look like for you, Scorpio, but yeah, really, if you don't feel connected to a lot of people, then maybe it is a time to look into like community activities. Like, it's hard, there aren't a lot of third spaces in the world, or at least in this part of the world anyways. So that is a good place where you would find community, but also, like those things like go to a concert, go to a sporting event, like those are a crazy one where everybody's literally riled up. So, go to the beach, go just somewhere that really calls to you. The Great Severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. And so, like I said, we're starting off this week with Mars squaring Pluto. And yeah, so the Great Severing is not necessarily, I mean, you are a Scorpio, and Mars is also like a side planet for you. And it's like in that other card with the star family, you want to find your people, and sometimes you need to tell other people to piss off, and that's totally okay. Like conflict is not a bad thing. Conflict is there to really stand up for what it is that you believe in. You want to make sure that your beliefs are put out into the space, because sometimes that's all that happens. Is sometimes in an argument all that happens is that your beliefs are heard and taken note of. And so for you, Scorpio, don't be afraid of that conflict. Don't worry about, like, if you spoke up for something that you care about, that is totally valid. And if people don't listen to it, then that is your key that is not your soul family. Yeah, that is not your star family. The Scorpio, really this week, you are at this tension point of, you started off with sweetness and you ended up here. But without this, you can't, like, if you don't do some of this, sometimes you have to stand up for this sweetness, and sometimes you got to stand up for your people too. So this is how you're going to be able to speak up for things that you love and things that you care about. Yeah, that is what the star seeds have for you this week, Scorpio. I'm going to pull one more card from the Land Sky Oracle deck. Oh, that's the wrong one. All right, there we go. Yeah, so the Land Sky Oracle deck was done by a yogi, and so these are going to be, ideally, they're going to be either poses or philosophies from yoga. Let's see what we got going on for you. Let's see for Scorpio. Tadasana, mountain pose. All right, this one's very easy. This one's literally, and I'm not going to do it because I'm sitting down. But basically, you stand up straight, shoulders back, hands are just kind of open, fingers at your side, navel to spine, hips are slightly tucked under. Like, a lot of people, like for ladies, like, we like to stick our butts out, but it's really like you want that pelvic tucked a little bit is actually the correct posture. And mountain pose is really here. And yeah, you just want to be as tall and straight as you can be, like at attention. And so mountain pose is really a good reminder of the space that you take up and how to ground like a mountain. The mountains are not moved by all this flitty Gemini energy. Neither should you, Scorpio. Stand strong in what you believe in. Stand strong in what you know that you can accept. All of the pleasures, the surrender to the sweetness card, to, you can like be that mountain so that you can stand up for that star family as well. So yeah, Scorpio, really, if you have even just like a minute to stand in mountain pose, take deep belly breaths when you're doing yoga is the, the suggestion here. And yeah, just spend a minute just really standing firm and confident in this body, knowing that it is open and okay to accept this pleasure. And it's also equally acceptable to stand up for what you believe in. Yeah, that is what I have for you this week, Scorpio. I hope that helps. I do hope that you get these sweet, tender moments while you're out there doing your thing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.